Moinsen! In this video I will show you how to create an efficient and fully automated electric furnace setup in Rust, all within a sleek triangular honeycomb layout. This system won't just save you time, it will streamline your ore processing and reduce base management so you can go out and have fun battling others. First we will build the overall structure within the Mechanitor, my latest base design. Of course, this setup can be applied to your own base designs as well. After that, I will demonstrate how to automate the system using tier 1 items. And finally, we will upgrade to tier 2 and create a more complex setup, ensuring a fully automated process without hiccups. For better navigation, I've included chapters in this video. Feel free to skip ahead to any section that interests you. I hope you will enjoy the video and stay until the end for some outtakes where you can hear a German fail in speaking English.
Rust fix.
Did you know that storage adapters in Rust have some quirks? Large wooden boxes have a keyhole at the front, which you can see in blueprint mode. You can attach storage adapters to all sides, except the back. Small wooden boxes are trickier. They don't show a keyhole when placing them and only allow an adapter at the front and on top. As for electric furnaces, they face you when the power input, marked with an arrow, is on the right. There are storage adapters attached at the front and the left side. Okay, let's start by setting up the conveyor system. By placing the conveyor splitter here, we can access the system from behind if we need to make adjustments or repairs in the future. We connect the box to the splitter. Then link its outputs to the conveyors. Those conveyors will then sort the contents of our buffer chest and transfer them to the designated storage boxes. That's the storage for the final product set up. Now let's move to the other end. Here, simply place two boxes side by side, facing towards the center. This ensures we can attach the storage adapter at the front. Now connect the output of the right box to the input of the left one, and this side is good to go. Of course, you can just use one box, but since I don't make full use of the storage inside the furnaces, a larger buffer for the ore works better in my opinion.
Rust fix.
Did you know that you can melt empty cans in a campfire or furnace for metal frags? Bean cans give 15, while tuna cans give 10, letting you craft a sheet metal door before even having your first furnace or visiting a recycler. Healing, saturation and protection in one can. Well, 10 to 15. Now let's move to the furnace corner and set up the core of the system. Start by attaching the 3 splitters and 2 conveyors as demonstrated. For the splitters, make sure you push them as far left as possible with the inputs pointing up. Place the conveyors in a way so their arrows point at each other. Be sure to push them as far right as the game allows you to. Connect the topmost splitter to the ones below. Connect the upper pipes of the conveyors to the storage. To place the furnaces, position the first one in this corner, parallel to the low wall, as deeply as possible. Then place the second furnace directly in front of the first one, attaching the storage adapters on the sides. Now we've reached the tricky part. Before placing the third furnace on each level, we need to connect the power lines from the splitters and conveyor pipes of the first two, since it becomes hard to access once the third furnace is in place. Connect your pipe tool to the remaining slot of the storage adapter on the rear furnace. Once that's set up, position the final furnace against the back wall and attach the storage adapter at the front. Take out your pipe tool, which is still connected to the rear furnace, and link it to the new one. To finish, connect power to the new furnaces and link them both together with a pipe.
Rust fix.
Did you know that you can export your conveyor settings to a file and load them at any time? That way you don't have to reconfigure your conveyors every single wipe. Simply hold Shift while in the filter menu to copy the JSON code. Be sure to save it in the JSON file to preserve formatting. Other file types might break it. To import it back into the game, copy the code from the JSON file and click on the paste button while holding Shift again. Setting up the conveyors for electric furnaces is quite simple, as they don't require fuel to run. To save time, you can use the pre-configured JSON code I've included in the description. Just copy it and paste it into your system. Alternatively, you can follow my steps to set everything up manually. The max settings on the conveyors ensure that the furnace slots won't be overloaded with ore, preventing that one type takes priority over the others.
Rust fix.
Did you know that a conveyor needs to have at least one rust watt at the pass-through so that filter pass and filter fail work? So make sure you give your conveyor lines one rust watt as a bonus to activate those functions. Now let's move on to the Tier 1 electricity setup. First, locate your local power source. The entire system requires up to 26 rust watt, so a single small battery won't cut it. We will branch off 23 rust watt and lead it to the lower conveyor's power input. Attach a cable at the pass-through of the conveyor and lead it to the next conveyor. Connect all 5 conveyors this way and there should be 18 rust watt left on the output of the last one. Place a switch and hook up the power to its input. Next, connect the power output from the switch to the upper splitter. To ensure everything is powered correctly, flip the switch and give it a small test. To start basic automation, we put an OR switch next to the lower conveyor and feed the filter pass lines of both conveyors into its inputs. The output of that OR switch then goes into the turn on of the switch. To shut off the system, we attach the filter fail of the output conveyor to the turn off of the switch. The system will now activate automatically for as long as there is any movement in the conveyors. Sometimes after the system fires up there might be some flickering. To get rid of that, we need tier 2. Now for tier 2 electricity there is a choice. We can either keep the switch or replace it with the memory cell. The switch allows you to manually control the system, while the memory cell offers a unique output to activate the device, like a lamp when the system is on standby. For the video I will remove the switch and use the memory cell. We wire the memory cell just like the switch, connecting the OR switch to the set pin. After that, we install an AND switch here and connect both filter fails to it. This will ensure that the system stays on if there is any movement on both sides. By adding a buffer gate, we will now ensure the system doesn't shut off prematurely when both conveyors sync up. For the buffer gate to work, we need 3 𝑅𝑠𝑡 that we get from our local power source. Place another AND switch and lead the power to one of its inputs and the other AND switch to the other input. Next up we place 2 branches, one timer and one blocker. Connect the newer switch to the first branch, configure it to 1 𝑅𝑠𝑡 and lead the branch off to the timer input. The output of the branch goes into the second branch, shaving off another 𝑅𝑠𝑡 that goes into the blocker input. The output of the branch goes into the toggle for the timer and the output of the timer into the blocker block input. Now just connect the output of the blocker to the reset pin of the memory cell or the off pin of the switch. The system will now wait the amount of time we put into the timer before shutting off, eliminating the chance for a conveyor sync shutoff. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and share it with your friends so more people can discover it. If you have questions and want to dive deeper into Rust Electrics, feel free to leave a comment below. If you are interested in experimenting with Rust electrical, industrial or plumbing systems more interactively, I highly recommend checking out 𝑟usttrician.io. It's a web-based platform that allows you to simulate and test various Rust systems right from your browser. You can experiment with your own configurations, see how everything fits together and plan your builds without being in the game. Just a heads up though, don't join their Discord community if you're looking for a flexible solution, as they tend to favor one-size-fits-all answers without room for non-super engineered setups. But the site itself is perfect for hands-on practice. Another great resource is my buddy 𝘲, who got tons of videos on Rust's electrics and is working on a complete video series covering every electrical device in the game. And now enjoy the outtakes while your electric furnaces work smoothly in the background, fully automated. Finally, we will explore all... Fängt an. Of course, the setup can be applied to your own business. I hope you will enjoy the video and stay until the end for some outtakes where you... Ich hatte den Satz so gut drin. Ah ja. I hope you will enjoy the... You can attach storage adapters to all sides, except the back. Small wooden boxes are trickier. They don't show a 𝐘𝐨𝐿... They don't show... The conveyor collects all... The conveyor convects... The conveyor convects... The conveyor collects all the materials... Ich sollte aufhören zu lachen. The conveyor collects all the... That's the storage for the final product. That's the... Now connect the output of the right box to the input of the left... Now connect the output of the right box to the input of the left... Now let's move to the let's move to... now... Mein Gott... The lower one should point upwards, while the other one points the other way. Then place the second furnace directly. We need to connect the power lines from the splitters to. Did you know that? Did you know? No. Oh, I am so fancy. Did you know? Did you know that a conveyor needs to have at least one rust what? Rust what? Rust what? 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 Did you know that a Did you know? Schon wieder die. Meine Fresse. Did you know that. Alter, jetzt kriege ich ihn nicht mehr aus dem Schädel. To save time, you can use the pre-configured JSON code I've included in this. To save time, you can use the pre-configured JSON code I've pre-configured. Alternatively, Alter. Alter, ich krieg das Wort nicht hin. Alternatively. Ich glaube, das Ivly wird gar nicht ausgesprochen. Alternatively, you can follow my steps to set Schade, ich hatte es gerade so gut. Alternatively. The max settings on the conveyors ensure that the furnace slots won't be overloaded. The max settings on the conveyors ensure that the furnace slots won't be overloaded with ore, preventing that one type. Preventing that one type takes priority over the others. Ist wieder so ein Scheißsatz. The max settings on the conveyors ensure that the furnace slots won't be overloaded with ore, preventing that one. Ja doch, ich war doch richtig. Naja, gut, okay. To start basic automation, we put an ore switch below the input conveyor and feed the filter pass lines of both TH sucks. Immer noch. To start basic automation, we put an ore switch below the input conveyor and feed the filter pass lines of both conveyors into. Den habe ich versaut. To start basic automation, we put an ore switch To start basic automation, we put an ore switch below the input conveyor and feed the filter pass lines of both conveyors into. Ich war fast durch. Now fängt gut an. Now for tier 2 electricity there is a choice. We can either. Now for tier 2 electricity there is a choice. We can either keep the switch or replace it. But we'll mention where to we wire the memory We wire the memory cell just like the switch, connecting the OR switch to the set pin. Nochmal. We wire the memory cell. Mein Gott. This will ensure that the system stays on if there is any movement on both. For the buffer gate to work, we need 3 TH. For the buffer gate to work, we need 3. For the buffer gate to work, we need 3. Alter. For the buffer gate to work, we need 3 RV. For the buffer gate to work, we need three rust watt. Alter, 3 rust watt. 3 rust watt. For the buffer gate to work, we need 3 rust watt that we connect the newer AND switch connect the newer AND switch to the first branch, configure it to 1 rust watt and lead it to the output of the branch goes into the second branch. The output of the branch goes in the second branch. I have some branch. Branch. The output of the branch goes into the second branch. Alter, warum ist denn der Branch? Ah! If you have questions, and it's a web-based platform that allows you to simulate and test It's a web-based platform that allows you to simulate and test various ist nicht so schwer. Nicht various. Another great resource is my buddy 𝘲𝘪, who got tons of videos on Rust's electronics. Is it electronic? Is it electronic? Electrics? Another great resource is my buddy 𝘲𝘪, who got tons of videos on Rust's electrics. If you swing by his channel, be sure to say hi from me. Also check out the description. And finally, we will upgrade to tier 2 and create a more complex setup, ensuring a full... Warum ist da ein Space? Okay. And finally, we will upgrade to tier 2 and create a more complex setup. Okay, das klingt schon besser, aber irgendwie... And finally, we will upgrade to tier 2 and create a more complex setup, ensuring a fully automated process without hiccups. And finally, we will upgrade to tier 2 and create a more complex setup, ensuring a fully automated process. Yeah. And finally, we will upgrade to tier 2 and create a more complex setup, ensuring a fully automated process without hiccups. Der Satz braucht echt eine Menge Sauerstoff.